It's insane how big the fitness industry is, and it seems to only be growing and becoming more popular. But in some corners of mainstream fitness, we have lost sight of what it actually means to be fit. So many training programs and coaches focus solely on one specific outcome of being fit and have lost sight of what it actually means to build real fitness. My goal in today's video is to hopefully open your mind, shift your mindset on what it means to build fitness, and show you a clear path forward from how you can go from where you are now to actually building real fitness that lasts and makes an impact. Most people begin their fitness journey because they want to change the way they look, which there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I would encourage that. You want to be able to feel and look strong, confident in your own body. But however, so many coaches and training programs have milked this to the bone. They've become so obsessed with focus on this one specific outcome, which is improving your aesthetic, changing how you look, reducing the amount of body weight you have, but have lost sight on what those things actually represent. Those things represent true fitness. People who are actually fit don't need to try to look fit. It's just a natural byproduct. Where if you're currently unfit and you focus solely on improving your aesthetic, it's kind of like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You're going to have to constantly fight to push down against its nature of wanting to pop straight back up, which is good if you enjoy holding the beach ball underwater. But if you're not completely passionate about losing weight, about counting your calories and all the above, then at some point it's going to become unsustainable. And what is unsustainable is going to leave you frustrated and overwhelmed. But by no means am I discouraging you from trying to improve how your body looks, trying to improve your aesthetic, but you have to understand what that represents. A fit looking body is representative of a fit body. Rather than trying to go to the peak of the mountain, I want you to try and focus on building a strong foundation of fitness. So you might think, yeah, Toby, I don't really care about building real fitness. I kind of just want to look and feel more comfortable in my own body. And that's perfectly fine, and I would encourage you to do so. But you have to understand that looking and feeling more comfortable in your body is a byproduct of fitness. So if you want to build a true fitness so that you can maintain the results of being fit, then I'm going to show you the exact roadmap to take you from zero fitness to fitness that is sustainable so that you can relax almost. You can go on a holiday and not lose all your progress. You can, enjoy a takeout here and there, or you can enjoy your life. You don't have to constantly focus on restrictive calories, hitting every single muscle group in the training, and taking 10 different supplements just to maintain how your body looks. Fit people maintain fit body just by topping up your fitness a couple times a week. So I'm going to show you how we do that. So if you currently have no fitness at all, or you're very new to training, or it's been a long time since you've been physically active, there is a theoretical path of development of becoming fit. And you may already be somewhere along this journey, but if you've skipped a few steps, you're going to be finding it hard to continue to see progress and even maintain results. So I like to draw this out as a pyramid. So at the very base, we're going to have nutrition. This is the base of our pyramid. This is what all of our fitness is built on. I'm not going to dive too deep into ideal nutrition. It does vary from person to person depending on what your overall goal is and what your current situation is. But ideally, we're trying to get as close to eating a diet that contains natural foods, is meats, veg, nuts, seeds, and fruits. And most importantly, we want to try to avoid added sugar. But again, I'm not going to dive too deeply into this. This is going to be the base of your nutrition. If there's a pyramid inside the nutrition section of the pyramid, at the very base of the nutrition pyramid is going to be eating natural foods. And above that, we want to get a good balance of protein, fats, and carbs. So they're basically the two essentials of maintaining a healthy diet. And that's going to be the basis of the pyramid that we're going to use to develop our overall fitness. Above that, we're going to have mobility. Apologies for my drawing, I can already tell this is going to be a bad pyramid. But mobility, so mobility is essentially your ability to reach the full range of motion of your joints. For most people that have to work a sedentary job where you're sitting at a desk 9 to 5 every day, you're going to become quite stiff. Some joints are going to be limited in your range of motion. So before you actually start building real, true functional fitness, you need to have the foundation of first being able to reach the full range of motion of each joint. So you can just make sure every session you're doing a little bit of mobility work to increase your range of motion or whatever joints are going to be used in that session or whatever joints are most limited for you. Above that, we're going to have stability. So now that we can reach the full range of motion of our joints, we need to be able to stabilize ourselves in various range of motion. So progressing from mobility, you're going to have to train stability, which is just resisting the force. Think isometric holds like planks, hollow holds, back extensions, even hanging from the bar, even just holding the bottom of a squat. Work on building stability once you've gained mobility. After that, we're going to have technique. I see so many people rush into training before they actually learn how to move properly. And this just results in them moving very poorly and creating more injuries and more setbacks than what they would otherwise have to. But if you follow the steps of reaching your full range of motion, being able to stabilize yourself in your full range of motion, and learning proper technique of the most foundational human movements, it's going to be very hard to become injured if you're working within your capacities. So the movements that you need to learn are quite broadly summarized as squats, hinge, so this is hip hinge, push, pull, run, carry. These are the most functional human movements, and all natural human movement patterns come from these variations. So if you can learn proper technique on these foundational human movements, you're going to be able to build a strong foundation from what you can actually build true fitness on. Once you have nutrition dialed in, you have good mobility, you're able to stabilize yourself, and you know proper technique of the foundational human movements, the next section up on the pyramid is going to be cardio. Maybe the worst pyramid ever drawn, but cardio. So this is essentially repeating low intensity efforts. So traditional cardio, you can think of running, rowing, cycling, swimming, just low intensity repetitive work. Once we have the foundations of good mechanics, now we can start increasing our aerobic capacity, which is basically our ability to bring in oxygen to the muscles. We need to be able to do this to ensure that we can actually train for what we want to train for without burning out and improving our energy levels throughout the day. Especially if you spend a lot of the day sitting, having better aerobic capacity increases your blood flow, so you're less likely to develop problems that are quite common in people who have a sedentary lifestyle. So after cardio, we're then going to focus on gymnastics. So this isn't anything special. This is just basically moving your own body weight. Once your aerobic capacity is built up to a certain level, now we can start building some good body weight to strength ratio. So we want to learn these basic movements in starting with just our body weight. We want to be able to squat efficiently with no weight. We want to be able to do press-ups, pull-ups, hinging at the hips. We want to be able to do these natural movements. We don't need to do anything excessive like handstands or backflips. We want to be able to have sufficient capacity in being able to move our own body. And then lastly, right at the peak of the pyramid is going to be strength. So the goal of strength is to maximize our ability to move external loads. What most people do is they come straight into the gym and they try and lift as heavy as possible, and they haven't built the rest of this foundation. They're just focusing on the tip of the spear, where they're trying to maximize the force they can move because it feels good, it looks good, and it's quite impressive that people are actually able to move quite a lot of weight without having too much mobility, stability, and a poor diet. But if you wanted to build real fitness that wasn't forced, that just felt natural, and that you can maintain effortlessly with just 3 sessions a week for less than 45 minutes, you're going to have to work your way up this pyramid and sustain these pillars of fitness long term. If you just try and jump yourself to the top, you're going to find it very hard, or if you skip a step, you're going to find it very hard to maintain. So if we can maximize how good each pillar is, we can maximize our capacity in each pillar, then we're going to have fitness. And with fitness, we're going to feel good, we're going to look good, we're going to have more energy than we've ever had. We're going to effortlessly maintain a healthy weight, a good body composition, muscle mass, bone density. Everything you can measure is going to improve if you have better fitness. So rather than focus on the tip of the spear, which is how you look, I want you to focus on building the foundations so that you can maintain the tip of the spear with the least amount of effort. Because for most of us, fitness isn't going to be our entire life. We're not going to be going to the gym 5 times a week for 2 hours. We just want fitness to maintain a healthy body so we can feel and look good and just feel more comfortable in our own skin and live the life that we want. So rather than focus on the tip of the spear, now it's time to build the foundations, and you can start with nutrition.